2 weeks of the NFL season, I've cashed out 80% of my picks on YouTube. And I've got 5 more for you right here, right now. Let's go. Using MySparryEdge.com, I'll be researching all odds and player props today. First one, Alvin Kamara. What market? Well, total rushing and receiving yards. Zoomed in the screen for you so you can see it better on mobile. Here are all the odds, looking glorious. Best odds, ESPN Bet, Hard Rock, over 100.5 total combined yards, minus 115. Click on Kamara's name. Player card pops up. Looking at Alvin Kamara's player card, I wanted to look at his rush attempt prop. First one is at 14.5. I'm actually interested in the over a little bit there too, but I went with the combined yards. With Derek Carr's QB over the last 2 seasons, we have seen Kamara hit the over in 9 of 16 games. Now, when you look at the past games and you start to look at his snap rate and the amount of touches he gets, the more he plays, the healthier he is, the more often he hits the over. He's super healthy right now, playing a ton of snaps, getting a ton of touches, and he's extremely efficient behind a very strong offensive line. Philly, on the other side, has allowed 9 total receptions to opposing running backs to start the season, and they've been gashed by both Atlanta and the Packers through the first 2 weeks for over 150 yards rushing in both games. And both teams averaged over 5 yards per carry. In week 1, Bijan Robinson easily cashed the over at this line with 122 total yards. And in week 2, Josh Jacobs would have hit the over at this prop line as well. Alvin Kamara is on a superior team behind better offensive lines, and I expect him to cash this one at home in week 3. Next up, we're going to go to Chris Godwin. So I'm typing in his name, and I'm going to go to his receiving yards, and you're starting to see what's happening here. Lines jumping, it's moving around, it's all over the map. Some books have it at 65.5, some at 69.5, Hard Rock at 60.5, Underdog over here looking gorgeous at 60.5 as well. Matter of fact, it is my favorite place to play it in week 3. Now, Chris Godwin in 2023 ended the season playing the majority of his snaps out of the slot, and he's done the same thing through the first 2 games. Close out last year, he averaged 73 yards per game receiving, and then has averaged 100 through the first 2 games this year. Baker Mayfield has also looked much better when he's had Chris Godwin as this kind of outlet. You often see him scrambling a little bit, and he continues to find Chris Godwin on these broken plays. With the potential pass volume, with the target volume, and the talent, I'm taking the over. Next up, Jordan Mason, anytime touchdown, going right back to the well. This kid has 5 red zone carries in week 1, 5 red zone carries in week 2. George Kittle, the remaining red zone threat, has never been a red zone monster. They have no Deebo Samuel, no Christian McCaffrey. Those two have combined to rack up close to 30 touchdowns in their games together. Jordan Mason has literally taken over the CMC role. He's had 20 plus carries in both games. And if the coaching staff continues to lean on them, he's going to reward the staff, which in turn will reward us who take this anytime touchdown on Underdog Fantasy. Next up, David Montgomery, anytime touchdown. I've got the market right here. Detroit at Arizona. So I actually thought about going with James Conner at home, but I decided, you know what? Give me Monty. We continue to see him score. He's the red zone option inside the 5 specifically, and great odds here on FanDuel. Shaded green by MySparryEdge.com, a minus 115 on FanDuel. I am also playing it on Underdog Fantasy. I love it over there because there's no nerfed multiplier. You're getting a 1-0 multiplier on that anytime touchdown. And I think soon that this will likely be like a 0.85, a 0.9 if the odds continue to get juiced on the books. If you're concerned about David Montgomery in that backfield, sharing time, sharing space, and sharing opportunity with Jahmyr Gibbs, don't be. This dude has scored in 14 of 17 games that he has shared the backfield with Jahmyr Gibbs. In fact, I think it's helped him. And I don't even know if that's a strong take. Gibbs and Monty share a lot of time in between the 20s, but when they get inside the 5-yard line, you see Jahmyr Gibbs come off the field virtually every single time, unless Monty is winded after getting them down to the 5. But Monty comes in the game. He's got a tremendous nose for the end zone. And when you go back and look at his touchdowns, over 85% of them have been scored from within the 5. So if the Detroit Lions are moving the football, which they always seem to do, and they're not having to settle for field goals like they had to in the first half last game, then Monty's going to have a chance at multiple scores in each and every game. He gets multiple chances, 4, 5, 6 red zone carries. You go back and look at his game logs, virtually every single game he shared the backfield with Gibbs, and nothing should change this week unless they're in trouble. Are you liking today's video? Do me a huge favor. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and then hit the notification bell. I don't want you to miss out. There are 4 videos per week on YouTube and 7 days of coverage as I fill the other 3 days with live shows. And a quick reminder, all of the picks you always find here on YouTube have been given to my Discord hours ahead of time or days ahead of time. I've posted 12 college football picks for games on Tuesday morning. I have a couple picks and parlays out for Thursday night football, and I have 2 already for NFL Sunday, an underdog slip, a full 5-pick slip for NFL Sunday, and also a 3-pick slip for NFL Sunday. I take care of my OS Picks team. Down below in the description, you'll see a link. It's 50% off using promo code Donuts50. Last but not least, we are going to the GOAT. Out there in Buffalo, Josh Allen, bounce back week, anytime touchdown, DK minus 115, best odds, but I am also playing this on Underdog Fantasy. Nobody under the sun can honestly say I liked James Cook to score 3 of the 4 touchdowns in week 2 for the Bills. And if they did, go buy a lottery ticket this week as well. Josh Allen, bounce back spot, prime time football at home against the Jags. There's a lot to love here for a guy who literally ran for 15 rushing touchdowns last year and is just an absolute beast inside the 5. And if you saw James Cook, 2 of his 3 touchdowns were from outside the 10-yard line in week 2. When they get inside the 10, they're going to do a lot of play action, give him the opportunity to roll out. Maybe he can run it. And then sometimes they just say, Josh, QB sneak it from the 3 or 1-yard tush push from the 1. There's way too many ways for him to score than for him not to. And I expect him to score at least 1 in this game. And I am actually looking at taking longer odds plays, and I'll have a special new show, I believe, on Saturday morning that will highlight some of these longer lottos. So if you're looking for those types of plays, you're going to want to tune back in for the next 2 days. Touchdown Picks video on Friday is 14-4 on the NFL season. And then Saturday, the new show, the long odds lottos, baby. Yeah, we're going to put together some fun parlays. You're not going to want to miss them. Turn the notifications on. And remember, down below, if you want access to this insane NFL and college football run that I'm on and that my team is on, yeah, you can get access for 50% off down below. I'll see you inside Discord. Let's get paid.